Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and today I'm going to be checking out PlayStation Now for the PlayStation 4. It just entered into open beta today, July 31st, 2014, and if you have a PlayStation 4 in the United States or Canada, you can go into the PlayStation Store and find the PlayStation Now category, the third from the top. So if you're not familiar with PlayStation Now, it is Sony's new cloud streaming service for games, and it was made possible through a purchase of Gaikai, which was another cloud gaming company. And it allows you to stream a variety of games, mostly from the PlayStation 3 era, over the internet without the need of any discs and no downloads, nothing like that. The only thing that you need is a reliable internet connection, and Sony recommends having at least 5 megabits per second, either up or down, in order to stream these games at a very good quality. And it's recommended that you plug your PlayStation 4 directly into your modem or router with an Ethernet cable as opposed to just using Wi-Fi, because it's just more reliable that way. So when we go into the PlayStation Now category, we have a few different options here, and the first thing that we should do is just test out our connection. It'll make sure that we get the best quality streaming experience possible. So if your connection is good enough, if Sony determines that it's good enough to run PlayStation Now to its acceptable potential, you'll get a little screen right here. For example, it says I'm ready to play and I'm ready to stream games. I'm plugged directly into my router. My internet speeds are maybe about 20 megabits per second up and about 40 or 50 down. So that's what I'm working with. So let's check out all the games that are available on PlayStation Now. And I got to tell you, the number of games has changed since yesterday. I looked at this less than 24 hours ago when there were only 83 games available, but now there are 122 games available, sort of, because even though it says 122, there are a few instances where there are several different episodes to one game, like the Sam & Max games and Back to the Future games, and they count all of those as being individual games, but they're really just part of one big game. So it's not quite 122, but it is pretty much over 100. So these are the games that are available here, and all of them have to be rented. No game on PlayStation Now can be purchased to have permanently. There are different renting options available. So if we start from the top and look at Alone in the Dark Inferno, you see that the only option that we have here is to rent this game for 90 days for $5. Not a bad deal to rent this game for 3 months for $5, but not every game is like that. Some games have several different renting options that you can use if you want. For example, Blood Rain Betrayal, which is a really good game. There are 4 different pricing options for this game. You can rent it for 4 hours for $2.99, 7 days for $3.99, 30 days for $5.99, or 90 days for $7.99. Personally, I think Sony should do away with the 4-hour rental, because I don't think you can really get too much out of really any game if you're going to only play it for 4 hours. So I think that they should either get rid of that or at least bump it down to maybe about $1, but it's still here for now. And there is no subscription service for this, but Sony is they're looking into making it a subscription service later on down the line. And yeah, let's just go over some of the games that we got here. We got Painkiller, Hell and Damnation. We've got all 5 episodes of or all 4 episodes of Sam & Max Beyond Time and Space, or 5 episodes of Beyond Time and Space. We've got all 5 episodes of the Back to the Future, the game from Telltale. We've got Contrast, Darksiders 2, also Darksiders 1, Dead Rising 2, Grid 2, Jimmie Johnson's Anything with an Engine, Killzone 3, NASCAR 14, Rocket Bird's Hard Boiled Chicken. We've got Sam & Max, The Devil's Playground, The Devil's Playhouse, all 5 episodes of that, Twisted Metal, Just Cause 2, Metal Gear Solid 4. We've got quite a few Resident Evil games. We've got Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition, Darkside Chronicles, and Umbrella Chronicles, and Code Veronica X, and Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, Alpha Protocol, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Kane and Lynch 2, Saints Row the Third, and we'll just end it with Swarm. So all these games have different rental options available to you, and some of them also include some downloadable content as well. If we look at Saints Row the Third, the full package, you see that there's only 2 options available: 4 hours for $5, which is not a good deal, or renting it for 90 days for $30. And it's those kind of pricing options that make some people go, well, we don't really want to do this. We'd rather just have a subscription. But PlayStation Now is really for people who may have missed out on the PlayStation 3 era of games, who may not have a PlayStation 3 sitting in their center console like some of us do. So this is their option for going back without having to buy an old console and hooking that up and things like that. So how do these games actually run? Well, fortunately, I do have some PlayStation Now games that I rented back when they were free that I can show you today. I don't know if these games are still free because I no longer have that option, but we can definitely check it out and see if they are. We've got a few different games to choose from here. We've got Space Ace, Jimmie Johnson's Anything with an Engine, Critter Crunch, Port Royale 3, Pirates and Merchants, Gold Edition, and Deadliest Warrior the Game. I don't know if these games are still free for PlayStation Now, but they were when I initially signed up to rent them for 90 days. So let's start with Deadliest Warrior, the game. We're going to get a sense of the latency of PlayStation Now and if it really is an issue at all. So whenever you start to play a game, the first thing that it's going to do is test your internet connection. Doesn't matter if it tested your connection previously, it always is going to double check. And as soon as it's done with that and is done authorizing it is going to open up. And it's going to create sort of like a virtual PlayStation 3 on your PlayStation 4. And you'll still have the ability to go to your friends list and to look at your trophies and sync your trophies as if you were on a PlayStation 3. And I'm going to show you all of that in just a second. So right here, you can see that there's a signed in notification on the right hand side of the screen, and that's because that is a PlayStation 3 notification. It is not a PlayStation 4 notification. So basically, we're running an emulated PlayStation 3 right now on the PlayStation 4. So let's see if we can skip through this. The start button in this case, since there is no start button on the DualShock 4, the right side of the touchpad becomes the start button, and then the left side of the touchpad becomes the select button. So once all that loads up, we go right into the game, and if I press the PlayStation button on the DualShock 4, the PlayStation Now menu comes up, and we have a few different options here. We can return to the game, close the game, display the cross-media bar, return to the PlayStation 4's home screen, and just change up the controller settings. So we're going to display the XMB menu, and you see this is the PlayStation 3's XMB. And there's only a few different options here. We can enter into the save data utility. We can move over to the PlayStation section and look at the trophy collection and check out all of our friends and our messaging box and all that good stuff. But what we're going to do is simply return to the game. And we're going to get started here with Deadliest Warrior, the game. Based off the show, Deadliest Warrior, which is a pretty good show, but as far as the game, I'm not too sure. So just moving through these menu options here with the directional pad, and it feels good. It doesn't feel like it's taking too long to respond to me. It feels as if it's either on my console as a digital file or if it were a disc inside the system. We're just going to go into this arcade mode, and we can choose from, let's see, the Apache, Centurion, Knight, Ninja, Pirate, Samurai, Spartan, Viking, and back to Apache. Let's go with the Viking. And for our weapon, see, Viking Longsword, Viking Great Axe, Spear, Chainmail. Alright, Great Axe. That sounds fine. And it's going to choose our opponent. So the Viking versus the Centurion seems to be pretty evenly matched. So I think these fighting games are, it's a good way to try to test out the latency because you really want to get that really quick response from the time you press the button on the controller to the time you see it interacted on the screen, because if it does not work out that way, you'll find yourself just basically thrown off. Let's skip through all this. Round 1 fight. Alright, let's do it. Away with your shield. And man, I just kicked that Centurion's butt. Perfect. Alright, round 2. Here we go again. Oh no. I threw my taking a little bit longer to finish him off here, but I'm confident. Sweep the leg, and he's down. He's really bloody. So at the same time, while the fighting games can be a good way to test out latency, it also depends on the type of game that you're playing. Because if your character inherently is a little bit weighty and it takes them a longer period of time to get off an attack just naturally, it can kind of throw off the perception of lag. We're going to do one more match, so it's going to be the Viking versus the Pirate. But so far it does feel pretty good, and as far as the way it looks good as well. I don't see any pixelation on the screen. I don't see any artifacting on the screen. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty native. Alright, let's start this off. Alright, Pirate, let's see what you... Whoa. Oh, nice. Got that fancy moving. Oh, wow. He's down. I wasn't even paying attention to the health bar. I didn't know his health was so low. Alright, here we go again. Oh, he kicked me. So this guy is smoking the entire time. And he is, oh, down I go. I cannot get beaten by a smoking, drunken pirate. Alright, final round. Here we go. Oh, no. I thought I had my great axe the entire time. Oh, I chopped off his arm. Nasty. Alright, so the Viking is victorious once again. Kick that arm. He walks away very angry and very manly. Alright, so we're just going to press the PlayStation now, or PlayStation 4 center button here, and we are just going to, we're going to close out this game. And we're going to try out another one. We're going to go back to the PlayStation Store. Go back into PlayStation Now. And go back to my PlayStation Now games. Alright, so we're going to try out another game here. Let's do Jimmie Johnson's Anything with an Engine. Because this is a racing game. And when it comes to latency, racing games are also, I think, a good way to sort of get a sense of how much there is. Because when you want to hit those corners, you know, you want to hit those corners. When it's time to turn, you want to turn. You cannot afford to have things lag behind a little bit because they'll just send you running into a wall and you just won't really feel like you can get yourself straight, you know. So we're going to try out Jimmie Johnson's Anything with an Engine as the game starts. And here we go. Once again, every time you do it, it signs in as if you're on the PlayStation 3. And oh, another interesting thing about this is, let's see if we can actually share. Let's see if we can share screenshots and or stream the game on Twitch. So I'm going to hit the share button, see what happens. So you cannot take a screenshot here. I'm going to hold it, see if we can enter video mode. So we can upload a video clip or upload screenshots, but we can't stream this to like Twitch if we wanted to, and that's too bad. So let's just go into single event. I really wish we could, though. I really wish that we could stream these PlayStation Now games to Twitch. Maybe one day that we will. I don't know. Oh wait, is this a tutorial? No, we don't want to do a tutorial. Let's just do, we're gonna do career mode then. Oh, check out those announcers. Save slot 1. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna check out the old PlayStation keyboard. Yeah, okay, we're gonna call it slot 1. Hit enter.
Welcome back to Jimmie Johnson Racing. I'm
Jessica Fox, Bronze Cup, and yeah, we're just gonna pick any car. It really doesn't matter.
Hey there, rookie.
Let's start the event. Looking at that announcer, it kind of vaguely reminds me of Paul Heyman of the WWE and ECW. The guy has a toilet brush. Alright, here we go. So I'm holding down the right trigger to zoom, 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 and speed. I don't know how to play this game. I know that you can, like, throw things. I just don't know how. But we're just going to, oh no, try to get a sense of the way that this game feels. And I think anything with an engine, Jimmie Johnson's anything with an engine, it has a pretty decent sense of speed to it. And the latency, again, I don't feel it. When I'm turning, I feel like I'm turning in real time. I don't feel like I am at a disadvantage because something's not quite working out the way that I want it to. Things really do seem to be going quite well with this. I can hit the X button to move around, and everything is pretty good. I don't know how to shoot. Okay, I think I just mashed buttons and something happened. So yeah, this game, it feels good, and just like Deadliest Warrior the game, it does not look like, I don't see any artifacting on the screen, and you can see exactly what I see, because if there were artifacting and all that stuff, it would just come right up in the screen capture, and what you see is what I see. So yeah, everything seems to be fine. Can we at least get in one lap before I move on to another game? Pit stop! I feel like I need this. Alright, that was a successful pit stop. Alright, so yeah, there we go. This is Jimmie Johnson's Anything with an Engine PlayStation Now, and yeah, it feels fine. Pause. Let's get out of here. Close the game. And last but not least, this was the app. I don't think that you have to download this particular app. This is for the closed beta. You can find everything from the PlayStation Store. But I just want to see if this app is still functional. This is something that those who were in the closed beta had access to. It's pretty much the same menu. It's just not in the PlayStation Store. So yeah, it's pretty much all the same stuff. Alright, so we're going to check out just one last game. Well, what's this channel option? I don't know what that does. All your channel games will appear here. Well, I don't know what that is. But let's try out one more. The last game is going to be Critter Crunch. This is a game that does not necessarily require twitch mechanics. You don't have to necessarily be like really quick on your feet or anything. This is a match 3 game. And it involves feeding flies to these smaller critters, and then you feed the smaller critters to the bigger critters, and then they explode, and then you get chains and all that good stuff. So this was also another game that came out for the PlayStation 3. There's another Critter Crunch, and this is sort of like an updated, really nicely animated version of Critter Crunch, and that can be pretty enjoyable if you're into match 3 games. So I like to point out these games do start up relatively quickly. It does not start up as fast as it would be if you had the game on your console or if you had a disc in there, but it's not slow. And this is brand new. This was just released to the public maybe less than an hour ago. So the fact that it's still holding up here, because it depends just as much on Sony servers and their connection to you as your internet connection is to them. So the fact that this is holding up when it's brand new, this is pretty good. And yeah, everything feels real good. Everything is moving in unison with what I would want it to. We're just going to go to Grumble Tummy Grove, go to a random stage. Look at it run. And we're going to skip the tutorials. And we're just going to jump right in. Alright, level 2. So the idea behind this thing is I'm using the directional pad to move around, and we just feed these things to those things. So I can give you that. In fact, I'm going to give you this, give you to them, and move you over here. Oh, did that wrong. Let's try. Oh, I keep messing up. Okay. I'm going to feed you to them. There we go. And then these jewels drop, you know, like from the sky, you know. And then you just get like these chains, you know, and this is pretty much Critter Crunch. I know that there are people who are infinitely better at games like this than I can ever possibly hope to be. But just like the other games, Jimmie Johnson's Anything with an Engine, I just like that title. And Deadliest Warrior, the game, it looks good. It looks good. It does. There's no pixelation. There's no weirdness going on, and we have completed that level. Sweet. I think that pretty much is all that we need to see from Critter Crunch. It's also a fun game. And like I said, I don't know if these are still free, but they were free when I downloaded these. Well, not when I downloaded these, when I rented them. So yeah, that's PlayStation Now, brand new. About 100 or so, a little over 100 games available to purchase, to rent rather. And this is not a subscription service at the moment, but there's definitely the opportunity for that to happen. And like I said before, if you are in the United States or Canada, go right to the PlayStation Store and you'll be able to check this out. So yeah, there's my demo. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I will see you later.